Fees collected for school years 2007-2008, 2008-2009, 2009-2010, 2010-2011, 2011-2012, and action plan to reimburse those funds. So I guess they're commanding or directing the school to reimburse the excessive fees they've been collecting over the years. I'm not an attorney, and I don't pretend to be, but that sounds like a class action lawsuit to me. Required documentation will include the individual student fee assessment form, which details parent name and email address, student name and email address, fees collected, and method of payment. Non-compliance will result in withholding FTE payments and possible termination of the school contracts. This is the reason that we have started this this movement to try to bring...
It's a crusade, Mr. Hernandez. It's a crusade.
You don't know what I'm saying because I haven't said it yet.
It's a crusade. I know what it is. I don't know what you're saying.
What is
I know
it?
what it is.
What is
it's
it?
A crusade.
A crusade?
Yes.
Define that, please. Explain it to me like a 6-year-old, like Denzel Washington said. Please. We started this crusade, this movement, this effort to change because we don't feel it's appropriate that Mr. Manuel Alonso Bosch is the management company, the landlord, the food service provider. We don't feel that this is an independent board. We would like parent representation on the board. We would like our kids taken care of. It seems very difficult to understand why a school that was...
Are you jealous?
Jealous of who?
Are you jealous?
Of who?
You seem to not like, what has been created here. You don't seem to like what has been built here over the last 8 years.
Mr. Bosch, I think this is a conversation. I mean, we can have it out in the open if you like.
Hey, this is a public forum now.
Absolutely.
We're here. The board meeting is over.
Beautiful.
And why don't you go build your own school?
Okay, why don't you allow me to finish?
No, I don't have to. I don't have to.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. So anyway, the reason that we started this is because this school was an A
and now I'm doing whatever I want to do.
It was an A school a year ago. It had it was probably top 3 in
Are you implying that it's not an A school now?
And we had a great administration and we had great
Mr. Hernandez? Are you implying it's not an A school now? You're saying what?
I know you're trying to upset me.
Excuse me, can I please ask a question? Because I'm not clear and I need clarification. So what appeared to occur is that 2 board members exited. Is this now
just... The board meeting is over.
The board, this is my question of clarification.
The board meeting is over. We're just having,
a public
here.
discussion?
Okay,
I just wanted to understand what I was saying.
That's why we don't have any rules.
So there's just, anybody can say what anybody
can say whatever anybody
Okay,
wants.
I just wanted to understand what I was sitting in so that I knew how to take it, whether this is just a free-for-all or there's actually something at play. So I appreciate your point of clarification.
And actually, their intention is that they're like babies that want to be on this board.
I don't know about any of that. I'm
telling you what this is.
Thank you.
It's a move to harass and intimidate the current board members into leaving because they are volunteers because they simply want to be on the board.
I was just trying to understand the format at play right now. So thank you.
It's great. We're flattered that you want to be on such a great board. We're really flattered because
you've
you've all applied. Evilise has applied, you have applied,
yes.
Mr. Dorway has applied. You've all applied to be on this board because obviously you think that you can do a better job than what the board is doing.
We're sure we can do a better
I'm
job.
sure, exactly.
Yes.
Thank you for your acknowledgement.
You're
So you've been at it now 8 months, daily, in a crusade, trying to intimidate the members of this board to leave because they're volunteers. And, it's not working.
Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Is your daughter still here?
Yes.
What?
What?
You're not happy with the school? Why is she here?
Why is she here? Because I think that the school has
Last year, right?
I'm sorry, say again?
Last year it was the same complaint.
No, last year was not the same complaint.
You started complaining last year. Don't misrepresent. You were here last year. You started. You started last year. You're a newcomer to this school. This school has been here for 8 years.
That's right.
And you're just a newcomer.
I am.
And apparently you don't like this school. And I think it's odd that you don't like the leadership of the school, but you still have your daughter here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm
A little
gonna continue this
contradictory, isn't it a little contradictory?
It could be
Isn't
perceived as
isn't that a little
It could be
contradictory?
perceived, it also could be perceived.
Unless you want
as
to
a
be on the
parent.
board and you're gonna do everything you can to destroy the board so you can somehow get, appointed by God or some other entity on this board. Isn't that right?
Is that right?
Isn't that right?
Who are you referring to when you
Isn't
say
that right?
God?
Isn't what I've just said right?
Who is God?
Huh?
Who are you
Isn't that-
referring to when you
isn't-
say God?
Isn't that right? Isn't that right, Mr.
Okay,
Hernandez?
would you, I'm gonna go ahead and finish. So this is an effort on our part to try to better the school, and that's all that it ever was. We presented the governing board with information that we thought would help them. They served for many years in non-compliance with CSO. So we were trying to do our part as a good PTSA to move the school forward.
And you're the judge and the jury of prior actions of the board, I assume.
Florida statute, there's charter school laws that we are asking you to comply with. That is our standard.
Like the fee schedule, like the fee schedule. That's a law, charter school and state law, and obviously it has been violated for many years now. So these are the kind of things that we're bringing to your attention.
That's why there is,
Disregard for the
that's why
law.
other directors have fallen ill, because the governing board has asked them to do their job,
And
and they haven't done their job. That's why. And, just because you were enamored with a prior director that wasn't doing his job, now you're complaining. So you complain, but you don't want the board to do their job. It's kind of contradictory, and, you are an enigma of contradiction that is unfathomable, and frankly, it's very hard to understand, how you argue for one side and then act totally different and contradictory to the action.
I'm going to make one comment, not as an attorney, as a person, and that is, this is not the way to achieve a positive result for the students. It's way too adversarial.
We have tried. We started
Way
many months
too
ago,
adversarial.
and we've tried to
So what would you
get
recommend?
written
What would you recommend,
letters.
Mr.
We've done it.
Tony?
We've been totally ignored. So
Can we go to
this is what
mediation?
it's come to. And I am a taxpayer here. My son deserves to finish out his high school
We
career
raised
here.
our
I
kids
should
here
not
willingly.
have to make choice. I should not have to leave.
Because we believe in
Sure,
this.
sure. Let me answer your question. We're not, and if you can turn it,
No.
come on, man.
No,
Yeah,
no. Why
Well,
not?
because the meeting's over.
Well, that's part of why it's
The
adversarial.
meeting's over.
I mean,
Again,
You should
we
honor his
got nowhere
request.
being professional and nice and asking questions that are very reasonable about the finances, about why books have not been purchased, about where money, that the ESAC had to spend, what happened to it. I mean, we've tried asking very nicely and it hasn't worked. So that's where we end up. If the school didn't have these issues, I mean, then we wouldn't be talking. I mean, that's what we're advocating, is for positive change that will bring results at the school. So
I don't
you
have
can
much
go back and
knowledge
do your
about.
homework. Exactly.
I don't have.
And look,
All I'm saying is a person that once you start getting involved in lawsuits, and then you get the lawyers involved,
I'm not
then
involved in
Just-
law.
all
just to point out-
progress ends.
There are only
Okay.
two people
Because everyone has
involved
to
in this
protect their own
lawsuit.
interests.
Mr. Post, there's
But look
only
at you
two
guys.
people involved in this lawsuit.
You guys are going back and forth on this, all right? And you have a hearing in November, all right? I'm a member of the board. I'm the only one that's here, all right? And we're outside the board. I was about to respond to something, and you know what? I'm the one that got onto my child for not having the books, all right? Because to me, I cannot believe that you have a class without books, right? And had the board still been in session, okay, I would have asked, why don't you have books?
There is a systemic problem with this school, and it is not the director. I mean, our current director also is now having health problems. I mean,
It's because of the
You know,
money.
what does that tell you?
Because the board hasn't allocated the money.
But this
It's
is
simple.
Okay.
You should know. You
Okay.
haven't, I mean, you guys didn't talk about the lack of books at this meeting. You didn't talk about the CSO complaint, that you just got a notice of non-compliance and it wasn't on the agenda. I'd be happy to talk with you, by the way, and we can sit down and go over everything if you'd like. I'd be happy to.
By the way, I don't know where you were reading these adjectives of controversial adjectives that supposedly parents
Right.
our PTSA set, but the only adjectives that I've heard that have been somewhat derogatory have been calling parents babies, which was just recently, and also immature and ignorant. And that has not come from teachers, it has not
Right.
come from administration, it has not come from students,
But
but it's
that-
been directed at
Right.
to the parents for
Right.
questioning
And that-
things
Yeah.
with, that is for an organization that is funded by government. And we have a right to ask.
Absolutely.
This
Absolutely.
is the United States of America.
Absolutely.
Unfortunately, we are in a banana republic, and a person cannot be a dictator here. This is a government-funded program, and it needs to be held to a certain level of standard. And if we're ignorant and immature for asking, then it's time to cut Miami-Dade off the rest of the map and start its own country.
No,
banana republic.
absolutely, and you know, when you raise, and it's for both ends, and you know, when you raise this level of tension, then nothing's going to get done, and you know,
So again,
our very, our very smart attorney here has hit the nail on the head. You know, when there's all this.
Ignacio, you were at the meeting where we very politely read a letter and you actually made a motion that you would respond to it at the next meeting. There was never a response, not in writing, not in public, not in private, nothing. So, you know, you think I want to be adversarial? You think I am enjoying this? Absolutely not. I wish we could have worked it out. In fact, that's what I was pushing for. Let's work it out. We've had private discussions with Manny beginning back in the spring.
You didn't have any public discussions with me, I'm
I
sorry.
said private, and
Or private.
it wasn't me personally.
No,
Oh,
you
okay,
met
don't
with,
say we, because you were, I
You met with
have
Mr.
had no
Duffy.
discussions with you at
I
all.
stand corrected.
Okay.
But you met with Mr. Dupy.
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. You had lunch with him.
Yeah, and it was
So-
a useless lunch.
The point
Yes, I
is
understood that was
there's
true.
no
That we all agreed that it was a useless lunch.
proper and responsible and professional tactics and an approach to this has not gotten anywhere. And so that's why it's gotten adversarial, not on our part. You've been in part of that, Ignacio, so I'm not sure, you know, why you've forgotten it now.
No, I'm not forgetting. I'm trying to get beyond it. Okay, listen, my memory's not that bad, all right? I mean, I remember
Go
what I
back
did.
to the letter, go back to,
Okay, I
go to
remember
the
what I did.
complaint.
And I'll do all of that.
And
Okay,
respond.
and that's fine, but let's get beyond it. Okay, let's get beyond it.
Get beyond what?
How do you get
Get
beyond
beyond.
it? Excuse me. How do you? My daughter is a senior here.
Right.
In fact, I know Manny for a long time now, and I think you know with all of this that's going on, I think he has just as much right to fight for his kid being in this school,
I agree.
as well as I think it has to be both sides coming together. And I agree with the lawyer. But
Okay.
what you're talking about getting beyond it, getting beyond what and what is going to be done to be able to get beyond it? Because I think that what all they want is answers.